What's up, college baseball fans? Welcome to another episode of the 11.7 podcast, weekend number 9 preview. This episode is brought to you by Home Field Apparel. Please go to homefieldapparel.com and sign up for their email alerts because on next Thursday, a week from today, April 17th, they are dropping their new Diamond Collection series, which includes 20 new college baseball um, uh, teams. What's the word I'm looking for here? A collection for 20 new teams, college baseball centric. Like it is 100%. Like we can look at the same stuff they had last year, the hats, the pullover jerseys, and all of that. You want to sign up for the alerts because next Thursday it'll be going live on the site. And just like last year, they'll be sold out within probably 48 hours. So don't miss out. Use our promo code 15% off CWS25. And that's homefieldapparel.com. In fact, I have a meeting with Josh tomorrow, and I think we're gonna do. I haven't even told you guys this yet, Dimitri and Noah, but I think we're gonna do an 11.7 hour stream next Thursday, live stream. Me, Jack, both of you, and we're gonna get some guests that come on, big time guests. So that's a little teaser. It's not finalized. That's what I told him. I think we could do just live on our YouTube and hype some stuff up. So hopefully he's in for that because I think it'll be a really cool way to not only promote their new stuff but also sit back and watch a bunch of games because next week the
East,
weekend series are Thursday, Friday, Saturday because of
Easter.
Easter on Sunday. So it works out perfectly. That's the plan. I'll let you guys know Sunday night on our next podcast what the final plan is there.
we will
Anyways,
not record. We will not record next Sunday. It will be like a Monday night thing, probably.
Correct.
yeah, I would imagine so.
All right.
Anyways, though, I am getting my annual April sinus infection. It happens every April. Can't control it. So I'm going to be battling through some coughing and some sneezing and some I don't know, snotty voice. But we're going to make it work. Really good midweek this past week and a fun weekend series up ahead, or weekend slate up ahead. And the style of the show, I'm going to hit on a couple first like key points, get both Noah and Dimitri's reactions to them, and then I'm going to play point guard. I haven't told them the plan just yet. So it's initial reactions, no research done. You're going to get straight off the top of the dome from both of them. Jack is missing today. Jack is in a wedding, I believe in Florida. Is that right? Or was
No,
Florida his other
no
wedding?
clue. No clue.
He shares his location with me. Should I go check? Let's play a game called What State is Jack in right now?
I'm gonna guess South Carolina still.
If Ben says Florida, they're the reason. He's got to be in Florida.
No, I think Florida was his. I believe that was the other wedding he was in like last month. He had 6 weddings lined up within like a 5-month span.
It's getting to that time, man. He's what, 27, 28? Like that's when all
Jack's
your
older
buddies.
than what you think. I think he's 28. He'll be 29 this year. All right, I
Mm-hmm.
have his exact location, fellas. Down to the street. I'm gonna flash it. Whoop. Do you guys want to take a guess what state he's in?
He is in the state of South Carolina,
That was my
He is
guess.
not. He is not, fellas.
North Carolina.
It looks like he's about a 5-minute drive from
He's in Charlotte.
Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Wow.
So he's in. So
The
he's
other
in.
way.
He's in Jersey.
He's in Jersey, fellas.
That's actually funny because Ben, you were thinking Florida because that's where Johnny was going, and then Jack just replaced Johnny in his.
Who is Johnny?
Johnny VTV.
Vinny's, yeah, he's in our fantasy draft league. So in our group chat, we were talking about that.
No.
That's what that
That guy's a
Florida thing.
character. If Johnny
Johnny's
V
priceless.
cracks me up more than anybody else in the college baseball world. Like you haven't heard language that he speaks.
It's content.
It's you wouldn't say that language in front of your grandmother. Anyways, so here's the plan for the show. Let's stay up in the Northeast. Shout out to Salle Baseball, bringing their program back after a 5-year hiatus. They were one of the schools that got screwed over by COVID. Their AD shut down their program, and over like the last 5 or 6 years, they've been raising money, getting potential donors set up to bring the sport back, and they were successful. So Noah, I know that's something that you've been kind of keeping track of recently. What's your reaction on getting LaSalle baseball back?
No, I think it's really cool, and just out of the blue, because I do have a working relationship with James Santori, who is an alum that played for LaSalle. Um, you know, he was tweeting at Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sports during COVID when Portnoy was doing all the small business funding, helping out small business that were kind of in in danger of going under. And they had talked to Portnoy and tried to set up everything. And it just, for whatever reason, they weren't able to get that thing to work. But now, like with NIL, this thing could definitely work. I don't know if they've gotten back in touch. They've tried. The program Twitter account has tried to get his attention. But still really cool. They went and got a former baseball coach, head coach of Manhattan, to run this thing. And ironically, that guy, this is 10 years ago, but I was going to like recruitment camps in my area where Manhattan was, coming to Michigan for recruitment. So like, yeah, I just, all of that kind of, I was very interested by this week, and I think it's a great headline. Welcome back to LaSalle.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're gaining any other teams next year in 2026. Like we gained West Georgia and who was it, Mercyhurst this year, two of the new schools.
West Georgia, and
I think that was it. Just maybe
no,
those two.
no, there's one more. There's one more. I know it.
Look it up for me.
Now.
But I mean, that'll put us at 308 teams unless another team drops down to Division III like Hartford did. So it's going to be good having a team just right there in the heart of Philadelphia. And LaSalle was a good baseball team. Like they had some years, probably in the early 2010s, highly competitive, and I think they have a big leaguer from there. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else near that Pennsylvania area, but good for them. Glad to see them come back. Now, guess what? It's Furman's turn. Like Furman needs to go do the exact same blueprint that LaSalle had, because I loved watching Mercer beat Furman more than anything in the world. That's the school I hated. Furman. I had to switch the hate to Wofford and Samford, but Furman tried to be Mercer, like replicate what Mercer does, and it just drove me nuts. So Furman, bring your baseball team back so Mercer can beat you twice or 3 times a year.
I only played Furman once. We only played Furman once my senior year at their place, and it's a cool little place, but yeah, I don't know why they bothered me too.
Yeah.
So yeah, the LaSalle skipper, his name is David Miller, and yeah, he was previous coach of Manhattan. I'm just skimming this article here, but yeah, cool stuff.
Let's get him on Club Roma whenever we do a Club Roma.
Yeah, we should.
Iowa State and Wisconsin need to be programmed before Furman and LaSalle. Let's be honest.
North Texas too.
But okay, hold on.
And SMU.
I have a question. If LaSalle can raise $100,000 in the past 5 years, I'm assuming Wisconsin and Iowa State just don't want the program. They just don't want it.
SMU has the money.
If LaSalle can raise money, why the hell do those programs not have a team?
Title IX.
It's Title IX, isn't it?
Title IX.
That's exactly what it is. Well, then just identify the female and create an all-female baseball team and compete in Division I baseball.
No, just add a softball team or add a lacrosse team or add a field hockey team. That's an easy trade-off. Like, that's 25-ish roster spots for 35-ish.
What if they hired a head coach? He went around and recruited for Wisconsin and say, hey, you have to identify the female so we can field the baseball team.
I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that's how it works. It's creative thinking. Don't think that's going to fly.
But so I guess that is it. God, dude, that's such a shame. I mean, Iowa State is just another team in the Midwest. I think that could add some intrigue, but Wisconsin.
Colorado would be my school. Like the first school that I would try to go to, Power 4 wise, to get a baseball team would be Colorado.
Colorado would be sick.
Yeah.
Tulsa, Colorado, Iowa State, 3 Midwest programs you can add to the mix.
I think we're sleeping on SMU. Like they've been tossing cash everywhere in that athletic department. They went and sniped Maryland's athletic director, and they've pulled USC's basketball coach for football.
Offensive coordinator from Miami.
Yeah. Like they are spending big bucks in athletics. Like if they were to get or begin a baseball program again in that area, that's a recruiting hotbed. Come on, guys. Like,
I mean, how far
SMU from a recruiting hotbed of a team a school that does not have a baseball team?
Stephen F. Austin?
Stephen F. Austin has a baseball team.
No, I thought you were going to say that's not good.
No, dude, UTEP. That El Paso area has some really good high school baseball. Like it's very competitive, and you see kind of what, like those teams from New Mexico and like Texas Tech and Abilene, like they have trouble scheduling midweek games, if that makes sense. Just because there's not a lot out there in West Texas.
How far is UTSA? Like how far is San Antonio from that?
Oh, dude, probably 8 hours,
really?
8 hours. It's 12 hours from Houston to El Paso, and it's probably 4 to San Antonio. So it's an 8-hour drive. Like it's straight shot. Speed limit's like 85 miles an hour, but still, there's just not much over there. So it would help those other West Coast or West Texas teams.
I have a question.
Guys, I was skimming this David Miller article. He was their previous head coach when LaSalle had the team. So this is a really cool story because he was he had mutual interest in coming back and continuing the thing with the Explorers. Cool stuff.
Heck yeah. And great name too. Explorer.
LaSalle
Explorers.
How far is SMU from Dallas Baptist? Right down the road?
SMU from Dallas Baptist with Dallas traffic, probably 3 hours. No, that's a joke at Dallas traffic.
But SMU is in Dallas, right?
Yeah. It's in Dallas. It's another private school that would compete with
Dan Hefner can build a powerhouse at Dallas Baptist. I'm sure someone can build a powerhouse. No disrespect to Dan Hefner, but I'm sure someone can build a competitive baseball team at SMU.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, North Texas, I could see North Texas being almost
Me too.
better because it's a public school. So academically is like a little less, and you might get a little bit more money. Maybe not more money, but more dedication.
Private school money talks.
Yeah. Well, and they have what's his face too? The former president. There's a former president that was an alum there, and he's funding like everything right now. He's
president of like United States.
Yes.
George Bush. George Bush.
I think it's Bush. Yeah, he's funding SMU and
made me feel like I was gonna have to go way past Bush, but dude, Bush was there. Like, never mind. I forget you're young, dude.
I couldn't think of the name.
I knew
it was Bush. I just couldn't think of it. Like he's sideline at basketball games. Like he is forefronting a lot of this for SMU right now.
Anyways, yeah. So there's a bunch of teams that could have programs, but I
know. I have a perfect segue. Timeout. 30-second timeout. Speaking of Bush, where did Bush go to college? Yale. All right. What's special about Yale baseball this year?
Other than they're one of the top programs in the Ivy.
Correct, but incorrect. Jack Oman. Ever heard the name?
ERA leader.
Jack Oman, true freshman at Yale. 4-0 on the mound, 38.1 innings pitched, 49 strikeouts, has given up 1 earned run. 1 earned run this year as a true freshman, 0.23 ERA.
Electric.
I mean, these SEC schools have been probably begging him to just, hey, forget education. Just come pitch for us. Please.
Hey, this isn't going to be me nerding out. I wonder what his FIP is. Because if he only has 49 Ks, that's a lot of balls in play.
Only 49 Ks? Dude, that's more than...
Wait, hold on. Wait, well, how many innings does he have?
38.
Oh, he's averaging over 1 per inning. Okay, then... Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, never mind.
I can find that in 2 seconds, Dimitri.
Yeah, I wonder what his FIP is, because that means he's got to be getting lucky somewhere. I mean, who's not getting lucky with the sub 0.5 ERA?
We need to go on Synergy and create a highlight tape for Jack Oman.
That's what we
need to do. We need to go watch his videos.
So
that's cool.
His FIP is 341, Dimitri.
Pretty good.
I like Sierra though. I prefer
341.
Yeah, 341 FIP.
God, that's the luckiest man on the planet. Go buy a lottery ticket.
I know. He's got a 214 Sierra too. So, yep.
Interesting.
For the college level, I think I prefer Sierra just because errors are way more prevalent, and it sometimes is a bit too forgiving for FIP. So,
you guys are such nerds, dude. Does he get people out or not? Do people cross home plate or not?
No, Ben, you know what FIP? You know what FIP is, though, right?
Fielding independent practice.
Pitching. Yeah.
Pitching. I don't know.
How many times there's some bozo box score SID? He's like, oh, that's a hit, and you're just like, dude, that's not a fucking hit. That's an error. That's clearly an error.
Correct.
As a hitter, I loved it when they were like, hit. He hit it hard.
Everything in the hit, dude. It's unbelievable.
He's striking out 33.5% of his batters he's facing. So, they're either striking out or his defense is making a couple errors.
Yeah.
Question, Dimitri. Wait, Dimitri. Here's a question. What do you do if you're Jack Oman? You're a freshman on Yale's baseball team and having a career year as a freshman. What do you do?
What do you mean? What am I doing? What do you mean?
You try to transfer? Do you enter the portal? Do you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know his stuff. Like if he's 85, 88 and just getting people out with a really good off speed, no, you're probably staying at Yale. But if he's pumping 90, 92, 93, you go somewhere and try to get developed and see where your career can take you.
That would be similar to like what Paul Skeens did, leaving the Air Force Academy, right?
He didn't want to leave the Air Force. He just made a business decision for his baseball.
Right. And it would be very similar or on par with leaving Yale, an Ivy League school. Like, hey, this is a business decision that doesn't have to do with physical business. Like, I just got to play for a better team.
Yeah, if he's 90, if he's 89, 90, if he's up to 90, low 90s, mid 90s, whatever, you got to transfer and go Wake Forest, go to Tennessee, go somewhere, LSU, wherever, and try to develop as a pitcher, and then go back and finish your degree at Yale or whatever you want to do.
You agree? All right, cool.
So,
but I did want to give him a shout out. Something else I want to talk about before we do the midweek recap. You came out, Dimitri, with a graphic, and this was something. I don't know why I asked you to do this or ask the question that prompted.
You didn't ask me. You just asked.
So in high school, by the way, guys, Oman was sitting low 90s with a fastball, 2,600 RPM curveball.
I saw he was from like Mesa, Arizona, and like that's usually a dominant part for high school baseball.
Yeah,
that's cool that he's at Yale though. Hopefully Yale will make a regional and he'll get to like start Friday night as a 4 seed somewhere.
Yeah, Jack Oman will not be a Bulldog next year.
All right, we'll see.
I mean, if he's a freshman, he can go get 2 good years, not just 1, 2 good years.
Yeah, and Ivy League can't do NIL.
No.
That's wild. But anyway, so going back to what I was saying, I sent a text to the group, the 11.7 group, that just said, like, how many Division I teams have not made an NCAA Division I regional? And it wasn't like, well, they haven't been eligible for this many years, like, oh, they just brought baseball back or they just transitioned up from Division II. It was just bottom line, hey, there's 307 active Division I teams. How many have not made a regional? And Dimitri went through about 2 or 3 hours of research and putting together a Excel spreadsheet.
That's got to be undershooting it.
I don't know how long it took, but he has a full spreadsheet.
We're going on 5 or 6 hours now.
Yeah, 5 or 6 hours. And this spreadsheet has 357 teams. So there's also teams that made regionals and either don't exist now or drop down to like Division 2, Division 3 or whatever. But the spreadsheet's really cool. And like, what your plan is to put it on our website at some point? Are you able to show the YouTube viewers what it looks like? Share your screen
I
just
don't know if
briefly.
I can
I don't know
share
if
it. I
share
don't
the
care.
graphic. Don't share the Excel.
No, I
'cause
want them to see the work that Dimitri put in because it is high level stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, they can
it
see
blew my
what
mind
we
when
have
he
here.
showed me.
I mean, these are all the 40 teams that have never made one that are currently Division 1. And then, I mean, Seattle's currently the longest streak for, I mean, it's really small, but currently all the red mean they're like super 10 plus years without making a regional. A lot of teams in there. Seattle University, they had a 29-year gap. They haven't made a regional 7
Yeah.
years.
You talked about it though. The reason for that was they spent a
29-year gap.
in the NAIA,
And then Northwestern,
level.
Northwestern is the only true D1 team that's been a D1 program the whole time. They haven't made a regional 67
That's
years.
crazy.
That's
Come on,
insane.
Greenspan.
Yeah, anyway, it's got every year they've made a regional here. It's got their overall record, appearances, years since their last appearance, stuff like that. It's gonna be more data. I'm gonna get more data in there. Yeah, it should be pretty cool. Fun little project.
Right. And what was I going to say? Oh, no, I know I was going to say it was about Northwestern. Didn't they have a basketball streak of like never making it to the NCAA tournament too that was broken maybe like 10 years ago?
2 years ago, I think, or something.
Oh, it was 2 years ago. Wow.
Maybe it was NCAA tournament wins that was 2 years ago. But Chris Collins, who's been there for like a decade now, I think he's got 3 NCAA tournament appearances, and he's like brought that program back to life. And Ben Greenspan, I'm buying in. Like, I mean, couldn't have been lower than where Northwestern was to begin last season. That was a rebuilding year. This year they went out and they grabbed some high major portal talent. They got a couple of guys from Wake. There was an LSU kid that transferred in as well. And they're hovering around 500 in the Big Ten. So if we can get them to Omaha in the conference tournament, we get them a fighting chance to get in the NCAA tournament. Maybe that one's one that comes down here in this next segment that we're going to talk about.
Yeah. So here's the for the YouTube viewers. Here's the graphic that Dimitri put together. 0 postseason appearances all time for Division 1. I mean, I could rattle off the 40 teams, but that's probably bad podcasting. What I want us to do is like maybe talk about a few that are surprising. Like for me, the most surprising was Pacific. I thought for sure Pacific has made an NCAA tournament.
That was your biggest surprise?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Like and like Texas A&M Corpus Christi shocked me a little bit, and maybe I wasn't as surprised because like look, James Berry, who started 11.7 with me back in 2019, he played at Longwood. I knew they've never made it. I played at UT Martin for a season. I knew we never have made it. VMI, they were in SoCon with us. Like I knew that they've never made it. Stephen F. Austin was similar to Seattle, where I think Stephen F. Austin went 30 years without a baseball team. So like that one wasn't as surprising.
Georgetown's the one that jumps out to me.
Yeah, Georgetown's a big one. Pacific was a big one. And then Gardner Webb too. Don't you feel like Gardner Webb has made one?
I think Upstate and North Florida are 2 of my biggest surprises. But Georgetown is the big one. They've been like around a long time.
I'll tell you who I wasn't surprised with. And like Maryland Eastern Shore, not at all was I surprised. There's a few
Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah, Pine Bluff, but like there's a few that St. Thomas, like they could have easily made it last year. They probably could easily make it this year, but they're in that Division 3
same with UC San Diego.
Yeah, UC San Diego, and Tarleton won the WAC last year. Did not qualify because they protested it and sent a letter to the NCAA after winning the MAC tournament, but that's what got Grand Canyon in the NCAA tournament last year. Southern Indiana, they just moved up Division 1 a couple years ago, so I don't even know if they're eligible yet. The Let's see. But yeah, I mean, it's over
Do you
10% of teams in college baseball have not made a regional.
would
Hey, Toledo Rocket, the only MAC team to never made a regional.
yeah,
Wow.
closest MAC team in vicinity to me. That's a tough look.
Yeah.
They've been knocking on the door. They had a couple of really good teams recently the last 2 years. The team that like had some good preseason buzz. They've got plenty of talent on their team. And they just kind of need to win their conference tournament. But I think the team that could do it if they go and win a game or two in that conference tournament is Cal Baptist. Big name is Nick Dumail on that team. Big MLB prospect, but yeah, maybe CBU is the team that I've picked out of that group as most likely to break that streak or make their first tournament appearance.
Yeah. I feel like last year we had a team make their first tournament appearance.
High
Who was
Point.
it? High Point. Okay. That's a little surprising too.
Dimitri and I were on that. We were waiting for you to bring that up.
Yeah. I told you I'm playing point guard. I'm throwing alley-oops to both of you. But anyway,
that was easy. That was the easy
Yeah.
alley-oop.
They won a game too. They beat Vandy.
They won 2 games, didn't they? Didn't
They
they play in the
threatened
finals?
Clemson in game 1.
They what?
They threatened Clemson in game 1. It was a Clemson Coastal regional final.
Oh, it was. Okay, you're right. But they beat the 3 seed, whoever, or 2 seed.
High Point Niagara made their first appearance last year, and Northern Kentucky made their first appearance
Oh, there
last
we
year.
go. Heck yeah. All right. Well, let's do the midweek recap. I have 6 games written down that I kind of want to just briefly talk about, and then after that, we'll do a little weekend series preview. I want to make a statement here. I'm gonna sit up a little bit. So maybe it was 2 weeks ago we had the discussion of like, hey, who's the Golden Spikes favorite? Who's going to win it this year? We rattled off like Rylan Zabrowski. We rattled off Justin LeBron. In my opinion, the best amateur baseball player is Drew Burris. I believe that wholeheartedly. His numbers are not these crazy numbers that everybody has been putting up this season, but consistently consistently at the plate and in the field and passing the eyeball test, I truly think he would go number 1 overall this season. That's my take. I don't think he'll win it this year, but next year I would invest a lot of money in Drew Burris winning the Golden Spikes.
I mean, that game against Auburn in the midweek, I watched the whole game. The guy is just a barrel finder. He just in every big moment he just finds barrel. He doesn't get a hit every time, but he finds barrel, and you're just like, did he do it? Did he do it? Holy shit, this guy is so good.
Right. So let's talk about that Auburn game. Like, it was fun. Back and forth. Both teams, I think, to themselves, I believe that they thought they should win that game. And like that's the type of game you look at the RPIs right now. That game could give Auburn the hosting spot over Georgia Tech 6 weeks from now. Like that, if they have similar resumes, they're like, well, hey, Auburn beat them on the road. Like maybe we should give it to them. So
yeah, that game was wild. I was on the Yellow Jackets, and that I actually bet that. Yeah, Georgia Tech had a 7-run inning. They out hit Auburn, which leads me to believe that I did think that they were the better team. But I mean, Auburn just kept chipping away the entire game, So there's something to that consistency of like that lineup never really waved the white flag, even after a huge 40-minute inning that the Yellow Jackets had.
Yeah, great game, both sides.
Yeah. The next game I want to talk about, and I'm going to let Dimitri take the floor here. I'll be the point guard. Talk to us about the Louisville game that just pissed you off more than anything.
Oh, he clipped this.
It was damn near 3:00 in the morning. I'm like wanting to watch the end of this game. It was like one of the last games on, and I was about to go to bed. And there was actually one more game going on. I was also watching. Top of the ninth. What was it? A 2-2 game. Louisville gets a leadoff guy on second on a double. I'm like, all right, here we go. Louisville's about to win this game, and we're about to get off and go to bed. Or we're going to finish the other game and go to bed. Guy freaking tried to attack the ball on a bunt. Obviously misses it. Guy second gets back picked. He's out. Next guy gets out. Next guy walks or singles, finds his way to second base. It's like a 2-2 count. Guy tries to steal third with 2 out, gets thrown out of third, end the inning. And I'm just sitting there like, this is the worst fucking baseball I've ever seen. What are we doing here? Why are we doing this? You had men on second. Why are you so far off? Guy bunted to the first base side, and you can get your secondary and get to third base. It's not a force out. Got to put a tag on it. You'll be fine. You're going to make it. Why are we doing that? I don't know. Fine, whatever. It's college. They make mistakes. Guy does it again and gets on second base. And you run out of the inning. All the guy has to do is hit a blooper, and you win the game. And sure enough, you're thrown out. And then in the top of the 10, Kentucky scores. I turn off my computer. I go, I'm so mad right now. Louisville deserves to lose this game. Next morning, I wake up, Louisville won. And I'm just like, dude, what the hell? Like, how did that happen? Yep, Louisville scored 2 in the bottom of the 10th to win it. So they got 2 chances to win. It doesn't happen very often.
They did not want it the easy way. They wanted it the hard way.
Yeah, that was a good win. That was, by the way, besides all the bullshit, that was a big-time win for Louisville. They needed that.
Look, it was right there in the hosting picture. And you look at, like, their schedule is pretty tough moving forward in the ACC.
Oh, dude, they're toast. They're toast.
You say they're toast, but these same teams are looking at Louisville like, hey, they could easily win this series.
No, Ben, at NC State, at Clemson, versus Florida State, at Notre Dame, at Georgia Tech, Homebrew, Wake Forest. They are burnt toast.
Maybe, dude, we saw them beat Texas opening night. They're not a slouch of a team.
Oh, my God. How many times are we going to talk about this game with Texas? How many times are we going to keep bringing this game up? It's the first game of the year.
Their lineup, man, I was handicapping it because they're in our weekend series pick'em. They have how many is it?
They're not good.
6 guys with 90+ ABs that are all hitting above 300. They just haven't figured out the right combination of this lineup. Whether it be injuries, whether it be like, just too many outfielders. I know they've got like 5 outfielders rather than some infield depth. There's a lot of guys with about 50, 60 ABs, and I haven't followed them closely enough to know that reason. That's why I was like, there's some guys here that don't have enough ABs to be qualified, but the lineup is good.
I agree. Now, I have a question. If you said 6 guys hitting over 300 that have 90 at bats.
Yes.
Does the lineup even matter then?
I don't know, but
I'm a big believer. Like, let's just get our best guys as many at bats as possible.
I see where Ben's going.
So screw that though. Like my stat, it was like 10 guys hitting over 300, but some of them had like 50 and 60 at bats.
But here's the thing with Louisville. I don't know why, but they haven't. I've watched probably 2 or 3 of their games this year, like with attention. They don't have that. Like, he's so good. Ooh, that's good. It's more just like they just get this job done, I guess. I don't know. They just haven't wowed me.
The guy to me that stood out the most as like tantalizing talent that didn't click so far anyway is Tig Davis. He's like a 2-way guy, plenty of power off the bat. He would be the guy that I circled.
I thought you were gonna say I think it's Zion Rose, who's been he's a highly talented guy that's just not really doing a ton. He's hitting 344 with 5 bombs. So the average person that's really good, but that's not superstar Louisville standard. That's like you're hitting 340 or 320 with 10 to 15 bombs.
Did you guys see?
I don't know.
I don't know if we wanted to move on from this, but Cliff Godwin, East Carolina's head coach, just clearly searching for answers, like trying to get some response out of this team. What was that clip about? Trying to get some response out of this team, just calling them out to the media. Got to get something to work here. Ben,
your next Mississippi State baseball coach is Cliff Godwin.
Mississippi State or No, not.
I
mean,
think
wasn't
he is so
wasn't
done
he
with
an
East
assistant?
Carolina.
Wasn't he an assistant at Ole Miss?
Ole
Is he
Miss
going to
is
do
fine.
that? Yeah, but
No,
he's not going to take.
Cliff
Cliff
Godwin was
Godwin
the
will be the
Clemson.
next Mississippi State baseball
I
coach.
don't think he's going to
He's a
take
Jack
Jack
Leggett. Didn't he a
Yes.
Jack Leggett
He
hair
played
or
for
whatever?
Leggett, I believe. Or no, not
Or
played.
yeah. Played something coached with Leggett. Corbin was a part of it, and Backett. They were all together. At
No,
Clemson.
East Carolina, all together
East
at
Carolina.
ECU.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it all
Godwin
East
played
Carolina
for
or all
ECU.
Clemson?
Yeah. Guys.
But
listen to
Okay.
me.
But he was talking
time out,
about like
no.
in this.
Wait, I have a question. What was that?
He was
video
talking about in this
What was
transactionary
some-
world of
or
college
something?
sports, like you have to care about the East Carolina program, and that's where Ben's getting at. Is like I could see him potentially on the move just because he's so fed up about everything that's happened to him in the past year.
We'll
You know,
see.
losing
He's out. I'm
losing
telling you,
Zach Brewer.
he wants
He's not
out.
going to Mississippi State though. He's not going to Hail State.
Yes, he is.
No, wait, time out, guys. Hold on, I'm still confused. But I saw the video. I wasn't understood. Just something happened that made him.
They only had 3 hits.
go
They just
off.
didn't show up.
They played like crap.
Yeah.
And so that was just something about a Carter Cunningham or something.
Well, yeah,
Did he transfer?
He called former players and tried to have those guys preach to his team about what it means to wear the purple and gold. And it's just not clicking. So now he's calling out the team to the media. They got swept at home to FAU. They lost to NC State. Like he's searching for an answer. They need to do something here because they're not going to have an at-large bid. You got to figure something out going into that AAC tournament here.
Now I understand. So it was just a boiling point. He reached
Correct.
the boiling point and he just let it loose.
He will be
But
coaching at
what does
Mississippi
Carolina?
State
What does
next
this
year.
have to do with East Carolina? What does that have to do with East Carolina? Is he they're giving him enough NIL money to work with? That's what I'm so confused.
No, they're just, the way he sees it.
Out at East Carolina. He loves that
I think
place.
he loves
Why would
the
he
place
be
too.
leaving?
But I think he's really fed up with where college athletics landscape is at. He called it a transactional world. You can buy players off his roster. Look at Bristol Carter, who went to Auburn. Look at Zach Root, who went to Arkansas.
Dallas Baptist, they're in the same boat. There's so many programs.
I agree.
UC Irvine's in the same boat. So why is Cliff Godwin bitching when he's been in the regional?
I just think he's trying to get an answer from the team. I don't think it's anything.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you guys are. I don't think Cliff Godwin is going anywhere.
All I said was I could see it. I'm disagreeing about the Mississippi State call your shot. So.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he's just mad that they're losing and just bitching and complaining about the NIL landscape as a cop-out or an excuse for just having a bad season.
I agree.
This guy has been one of the most winning coaching programs the last 10 years. Why is he complaining? He had a bad year. It's okay.
Let's take a step back, fellas. In life in general, let's take – I don't want to use this example, but I think I'm about to be forced to use this example. When somebody's complaining, let's say a husband is complaining, he just gets divorced, he's complaining about his ex-wife, and then he meets a girl that just gets divorced and she's complaining about her ex-husband. They usually end up getting together and becoming boyfriend, girlfriend, or fiance or husband, wife, like their next wife. Mississippi State's over there complaining about Lamonis over and over. Like the fans hate him. They don't think that he's a winner, and they want a winner. And like they're willing to spend a ton of money to get an established coach that will win them baseball games. On the other side, now you see Cliff Godwin kind of complaining to the media. He's not happy at where he's at. Like he feels like he's at a disadvantage. And he loves East Carolina, but if they can't pony up extra NIL money or keep their players or whatever, he's just going to be another mid-major coach 5 years from now. This is his opportunity while he's still high on a lot of schools' radars.
I agree.
To go and take that jump. Like this has to be the year, because if he goes 5 more years and doesn't win at East Carolina, like they'll forget about him.
There will always be that parachute back to East Carolina. East Carolina will welcome him back in open arms after he tested the water. Happened with Brady Hoke. I know it's a football example. San Diego State going to Michigan. Happened with Rich Rodriguez,
Wait, time out.
West Virginia to Michigan.
So I'm just gonna build off this. So you're saying the guy like Dan Hefner should have taken the job?
Well, I mean, his
No,
situation's a little different.
He's still got the momentum at DBU. Just Ben's just talking about how possibly the train is off the tracks.
I think East Carolina is a more desirable place than Dallas.
I agree.
thought you were about to say Mississippi State, and I was about to turn off the podcast and go home.
Wait,
I thought you were about to say, I think East Carolina is a better place than Mississippi State.
No. I'm saying East Carolina is more desirable place than Dallas. There's so many major programs that are winning. I think Cliff Godwin needs to just calm down and.
To Ben's point, your stock on the market to be picked up as a head coach at a high major is never going to be high.
I do agree with that.
So
I do agree with that part. But, dude, his resume speaks for himself. He just had a down year. He lost his Friday night guy to Arkansas. He lost another Friday night arm to the first round pick. Dude, it was just a one-off year. He'll be fine. I mean, I think I don't know. I think you guys, Cliff Godwin isn't going anywhere.
We've done this 2 midweek episodes in a row. We've tried to land a hypothetical spot. I disagree with Mississippi State. His past history is he grew up in North Carolina. He's coached at East Carolina for the last decade. He spent a year on Vandy's associate staff. He spent a year with Notre Dame. 2 years with LSU, 3 years with 3 years with UCF, 3 years with Ole Miss. I don't see any of those jobs opening. Where is he going?
Why does he hate the
He's replacing.
I'm just using that as an example where his roots could be.
I know where he's going. He is replacing Elliott Avent at NC State.
That could happen.
Avent's not going anywhere. What are you talking about?
Dude, I don't think they're very happy with him in Raleigh.
I think they're happy with him. But the storyline off of Dimitri, there was a storyline about Elliott Avent possibly hanging it up after Omaha last year. That's where I thought Dimitri was going here.
That guy's so competitive.
I saw on Twitter people were complaining that Avent
people complained about O'Sullivan,
and I was like, wasn't that team playing with 9 guys in Omaha? Not 2020, whatever. And this is a super regional team every year.
They made it to Omaha last year. They're fine. They could make it back this year.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, I don't know. But I don't know where people are going with that. But I could see Godwin being at NC State. But I feel like that's because there's this thing of East Carolina being the teacher school, being the blue collar school, in North Carolina, Richie, NC State. I don't think they like them very much either. That's the thing. So I don't know what the dynamic is there. But anyway,
Carolina
let's move
and
on.
NC State don't like each other either for whatever.
Point guard. Call the plays again.
Yeah. Coastal, big midweek win. Their pitching staff's unbelievable. I've mentioned it 6 weeks in a row now on the podcast, but I cannot grasp the turnaround that I'm going to mess up his name. What is the new pitching coach's name from South Carolina from last year? Golly, but he took over at Coastal this year. Matt Taylor, is that his name? Matt something.
No, you're thinking of Matt Taylor. He's the pitching coach.
No, I know, but what is the guy's name? Look up Coastal Carolina's pitching coach this year.
Yeah, I'm on it too.
I already got it. It's wait, it's not Beverland. No. Sorry. Yeah, he's the pitching coach at Coastal.
Matt Williams.
Jason Beverland.
Matt Williams is the guy's name. Yes, he was at South Carolina. 1,000%, it's Matt Williams.
Then wait, Beverland is not there anymore?
Matt Williams.
Why is Google telling me this shit?
He was with South Carolina last year. Yeah, that's from his.
But what Matt Williams has done with that Coastal pitching staff, it still blows my mind. They're not only a top 10 pitching staff in mid-major baseball. I would put them up at at least top 15 in the nation.
He was the pitching coach of that Liberty team with Garrett Horn.
I know who he is. Yes, he was at Liberty. Now I know who you're talking about.
He's elite, an elite pitching coach. But yeah, Coastal gets another big midweek win. Like their path to host a regional is looking very good right now.
Yes. Yes.
The RPI is high. Like I know they lost the series on the road to Troy, but like that's going to help them out more because I think Troy's going to go. They're going to start winning a ton more games here before their final weekend against Southern Miss, and the
What a
RPI
fun
doesn't care
series.
about series wins. Like it has its own formula, and the selection committee is going to go off the RPI. It's bottom line.
Their strength of schedule, phenomenal. It's like number 12 overall. They have the number 2 strength of non-conference. Coastal Carolina is sitting beautifully right now. Just take care of business.
Oh, excuse me. But anyways, so like Jacob Morrison on their staff is 6-0 this year with a 1.9 ERA. He's been unhittable, guys. 42 innings pitched, only 10 walks. Like you guys remember those Coastal teams that would just walk everybody?
Yeah, I mean that was what 2 years ago. Yeah. We know.
Yeah.
Hey, we cannot. I got to mention it now. Florida's got one. They're having one of their worst years under Sullivan in a long time. They take the season series over Florida State, who at the time there won't be for much longer, but that was a top 5, top 10 team in the country. Just shows you how good. Hey, shows you how good.
Noah has a good fact. Noah has good facts about Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so in that game, by the way, Florida State should have won. They left so many runners on base. I think they grounded into 5 double plays. Just absolute crazy. I lucked out with Florida money line. But no, I texted you guys about this. Last year, everybody knows the story about Florida. You know, they started in their midweeks, they were pretty rough, but in the SEC, they were fine. I'm trying to stall and filibuster as I pull.
So basically, you said they were 6-6 in the SEC, exact same RPI last year and this year on that day.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a 1-11 SEC record with the same RPI?
So they were. It was basically this week last year, 22-14 overall, 28th in RPI, but this year they're 1-11 in the SEC. Or last year they were 17-17 overall with RPI issues, but 6-6 in the SEC.
So
would you rather have to win 7 SEC games and hover around, just be over 500 come selection day, or would you rather have to go and win 11 SEC games and the midweeks don't matter?
No, that was not the question, because I remember it was. Would you rather be 6-6 with this RPI or 1-11? Hold on.
Well, they have a higher RPI this year than they did last year at the time.
What was my response to your text?
You said 100% you'd rather be 6-6, even though the RPI issues were there. They're non-existent.
So the RPI was way worse last year.
It was worse last year. They were not.
Okay, that's now I get it. Yeah, dude, give me 6-6 in the SEC with a 50 RPI, then a 1-11 SEC record with an 18 RPI. Give me the 6 SEC win.
Well, guys, they're 2-11 now. They just beat Missouri.
I know.
Thank God, dude.
Last year they got swept by that Mizzou team, so they're making positive.
They're going to have 4 wins after this weekend.
Yeah, if they don't have 4 wins after this weekend, they are in trouble, big trouble. Yeah. If they get to 4-11, you're like, man, can you go like 8-7 the rest of the way? Like, is that possible? Like, of course it is. You're Florida.
Yeah, but there was something different about the team last night. I know it's a rivalry game, so you're always hyped up, but there was something just a little bit different about that team. I think it could be a turning point for them on the season. It's like, all right, we already know we're ass right now. We have nothing to lose. Let's ride. It's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, team on 3, 1-2-3 team.
Yeah. Hey, I might want to throw the "they are back" label on a team from this midweek. Oral Roberts took down Oklahoma State 10-6.
Oklahoma State booty butt cheeks, dude.
No.
Well, they looked good last weekend.
But St. Thomas currently leads the Summit League. They are not tournament eligible. So Oral Roberts could be that team once again out of the Summit. This year they're 8-12 overall. Their non-conference strength of schedule is 49th in the country. Like, they've tested themselves at least, and they have survived. Unlike last year,
they're winning that tournament.
Yeah,
They're winning the Summit. They'll be back in the postseason again.
I think.
Speaking of Oklahoma, Dallas Baptist curb stomped the Sooners in Norman. That DBU team is just. I think that shows how good Western Kentucky was last weekend.
Have you
Because
seen
DBU can do it.
Kentucky? Have you seen some of their stats? Like Ryan
They're
Weidman,
absurd.
dude. Ryan, I had his stats pulled up here for. I know I'm
That team's
switching
good.
gears. We will talk about Dallas Baptist here in just a second, but Ryan Weidman has. Oh gosh, where did his statistics go? Here we go. He's hitting 452 with a 1266 OPS, 14 doubles, 6 homers, 5 triples, 40 RBIs, and 27 stolen bases. I don't know if there's a college baseball wins or runs created or whatever the statistic is, but he's
WRC
got
plus.
WRC plus. Like he's got to be leading college baseball in WRC plus.
Let's find out.
I think that Western Kentucky team, like, I don't care if they only have one hard series on the year. They proved it on the road at Dallas Baptist. Like, that's not an easy place to win, and they won there. And then Oklahoma they turn around and curb stomp Oklahoma. I just think this just shows you don't have to doubt Western Kentucky's schedule anymore. They proved it. They're almost 30 wins. They series win on the road at Dallas Baptist. I think. Yeah, they're not. You don't need to doubt them. You can comfortably say Western Kentucky is a very good team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're 24-0 against Quadrant 4 teams, 3-4 against Quadrant 1,
which is 3 more wins than 90% of the country.
Yeah, strength of schedule 229 for the Highland. I mean, golly, Hilltoppers.
WRC plus wise.
Are you doing the formula by hand right now?
No. I went and found the leaderboard. I don't see Weidman's name near the top, but yeah.
Oh, interesting.
What's wrong?
Hey, Ben, before we move on to your next thing, San Diego, another back-to-back, another walk-off thing will beat UC San Diego. I'm telling you, do not let me pick anybody else in the West Coast tournament. I don't care what they do for the next 6 weeks. Do not let me pick anybody else but the Toreros. They're gonna.
I won't forget because UC San Diego, their first year eligible basketball-wise, they won that tournament too. So that athletic department's on a roll.
Different team, dude. Different team. He's talking about the Toreros.
I thought he said UC San Diego.
Fuck. No, they walked off UC San Diego. That's a rare swing and a miss for NAIA, the Masters. I don't even know what the hell that's about. But
this is Masters week. NAIA has a school named the Masters, and their record this year is 25-15.
Nice.
Weidman's top 25 in WRC plus. I'm a bad multitasker.
I'm just telling you he's number one.
Yeah.
Shout
out formula's wrong.
No,
shout out to Cardell Thibodeau out of Southern, number one.
You can bring up all the stats you want. When Ben decides someone is number one, they're number one. He will not change his mind.
Can you guys guess who's number 2 in WRC plus? It's a guy that we've talked about forever.
Ryan Zaborowski. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that's a pretty cool guess.
I put it on a tee. I let Dimitri hit a home run there.
Hey, the only other midweek I want to talk about is shout out to LSU for. I love how they go to the mid-major programs in the midweek.
Louisiana.
They go to Thibodeau, Louisiana. Nicholls State gets to host LSU. Of course, the crowd had a ton of purple and gold, but that doesn't matter. Wherever you play, you're gonna wherever you play LSU at home or on the road, they're gonna show up. But I always think that's really cool. Like Southeastern Louisiana gets to do it a bunch. They've done it against Lamar. They've done it against McNeese. Like I love how LSU is just like anytime, anywhere. We don't care.
Like you said, though, they don't fear playing the road games though because they know they're gonna have 50% of the crowd.
Hey, Ben, did you say Thibodeau or Thibodeau?
It's Thibodeau, right?
I think it's
Thibodeau?
Yeah.
So the H is silent?
I believe so.
Just
like the X is silent.
The H is not the first silent letter that comes in my head in that word.
No.
The X.
Obviously, dough, whatever. But that's just, I didn't know the H. What English language is so stupid.
Oh, that's Cajun, buddy.
That's French. Yeah.
But that's French. But that is French.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else you got? Point guard.
God.
Well, we can preview the weekend now. That's pretty much everything I had. Yeah,
South Carolina's got a man on first, 2 outs in the 8th, down by 1.
Ooh.
I was just
Are we-
following the score there.
Are we doing top 25 upset or are we doing pick 'em?
Yeah,
No, I
let's
think
do
we
a
should-
top
I think we
25
should-
upset first.
Okay.
All right.
I love that segment.
I do too. I mean, that segment made history last week. Well, yeah, I had to follow up with it.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe I did that. I still can't believe I did that.
So top 25 upset, and it has to be against a unranked team, correct?
Yeah, we're picking an unranked team to win the series against a ranked team.
Oh, dude, this is so easy.
You're going to say TCU versus Kansas.
That's the easiest one to pick.
Yeah, that was where my head was at too. I'll tell you another one that could easily happen, and just because I know these two programs pretty good, Georgia State hosting Coastal Carolina. That could be a weekend series upset because Georgia State's a good team. Like their record is solid, like 22-13, 8-4 in the Sun Belt. They have some bad losses, but there's something playing. There's something about Coastal Carolina is like, I don't want to call them a white collar team because they're definitely not that, but they're used to playing in nicer facilities. And what Georgia State has going on at the bus barn is bus lot. Sorry, it's nothing like Coastal Carolina has ever seen other than whenever they played there 2 years ago. It's tough. It's tough to play there. Like you're going to be playing these. You hope you play in the daytime because the lights there suck and you can't hit at night. I've been there, done that. And Georgia State plays with a lot of fire at home. So I'll go on a limb. I'll say Georgia State wins 2 out of 3. I know I just bragged on Coastal, but this is such a tough place to play.
Guys, I don't do this very often. There's the series that is going to happen. Kentucky at home against
That's
Texas.
what I was going to say.
Guys, everyone is chomping their bits in Austin. We're the best team in the land, bitching and complaining with LSU fans. Who's number one?
Yeah.
Kentucky, Nick Mingione, they have something to say about that.
Yeah.
I can totally see Texas slipping up in Lexington.
Me too. I was trying to look for it. Guys, has Texas ever visited Kentucky? There was a stat during the football season that when Texas visited Lexington during the football year, that was the furthest east in the regular season that Texas had ever played a regular season football game.
No. You had it backwards. It was the furthest west Kentucky has ever played a football game.
Okay.
Because Texas used to play like West Virginia when they were in the Big 12 together.
Right. Yeah,
but
you're right.
Yes,
I'm stupid.
Austin, Texas was the furthest west that Kentucky has ever played a football game.
Yeah.
Damn, Noah was about to make me so stupid because I was just going along with it. And then as soon as she said Big 12, I was like, wait a minute. That's not true.
Yeah.
That was a really bad moment.
Like College Station is east of Austin, so.
But so here's what I noticed. And so backstory. This entire week I've been talking to these guys. I'm pulling it off this week. My sister coaches high school softball, and they're going down to Cincinnati for a tournament this weekend. And I'm like, hey, let me tag along. I'm gonna knock out Cincinnati's hosting Arizona State this weekend, but Kentucky is also hosting Texas. So I'm gonna go to Friday. Both aces are throwing for Cincy, Arizona State. Then Saturday, Kentucky moved Nick McKay, who'd been their Friday night starter the entire year. He's throwing on Saturday this week. And he's going up against Luke Harrison, who's been a stud for Texas the entire year. So what Kentucky's essentially trying to do is, hey, Spencer's a stud. We're going to try our money at Harrison with Nick McKay on Saturday. And their number 2, Ben Cleaver, is starting game 3. And Texas this year, it's kind of been dicey, game 3, starting pitcher-wise. They're throwing Ruger Riojas this week. He's slated to start.
He's been in Georgia last weekend.
He's been their kitchen sink guy out of the bullpen for multiple innings and just one spot. He's starting. So that's kind of like they're pulling out the Brian Curley move.
I thought he started in Georgia last weekend.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Like he's got like 2 starts on the year. This will be his 3rd, I believe.
Here's another one for you guys. Sorry. Go ahead. No, I didn't. I thought you were done.
Yeah, no, finish your thought.
No. I just think that Kentucky could be live on Saturday and Sunday to take that series from Texas. Texas wins game one. They're all high and mighty, thinking that they'll, take the series from Kentucky. I just think that like the way that Kentucky's structuring their weekend rotation this week, plus that lineup, I think that they'll make the Texas pitching staff work, unlike they have, the past 2 weeks. It's just a different style of ball that, I'm very interested to see how it matches up against the Longhorns this weekend.
Guys, 7-7. South Carolina tied at first and second, 2 outs in the eighth, 3-1 count. They're about to take the lead.
So for a clip, Dimitri, I think that Kentucky takes down Texas this weekend.
Hey, if Noah's on my side on this, I feel good about it. Here's another unranked team that I think is going to beat. I'm more confident in this one. Virginia Tech is beating Florida State at home, boys.
Ooh.
In Blacksburg.
Ain't happening. Nope.
FSU back against the wall spot.
Nope. Not happening.
You get smoked twice against Wake. You lose the midweek against your rival. That has to be like where Florida State shows up.
God, Blacksburg is a hard place to win.
It is.
It's a hard place to win.
It's not a desired road trip.
It is a brutal road trip for the Seminoles.
Yeah.
You're telling me
it's so hard to win there. It's so hard to win in Blacksburg. They're
Virginia Tech's money at home.
Wait. Now do home series.
Virginia Tech is 13-6 at home. This is not Western Kentucky.
No, I'm talking like
22-0.
All right, Ben. Okay, Ben. But traditionally, in the past couple of years,
Georgia Tech walked in there and won 2 out of 3. Like, it's doable. Come on.
I'm on Ben's side here.
I hate when Ben does this shit. He gets on his high horse about things, doesn't stop. I'll accept my loss and just say, you know what? Okay, whatever. But don't forget, Virginia Tech swept Wake, who just curb stomped Florida State. Give me the Hokies at home.
No, so the series outside of Kentucky, Texas, since Dimitri and I agreed on that one, and Dimitri went with a second. I'll take you through the second. Maryland's 3-9 in the Big Ten right now, guys. This is the road trip that I circled in the preseason that Oregon's going to lose. Heading to College Park, to Maryland's got to do something. I mean, right now, if the season were to end today, they would miss the Big Ten tournament. I think they're for relatively speaking, they're healthy. I think they get it done this weekend at home against the Ducks.
Oregon State already had their bad series loss on the road. Now was in Columbus, Ohio, 2 weekends ago. They're not losing this series. Hey, you guys want to come at me? I'm going to come right back at you when I don't agree.
No, I didn't have a response. Like, you're right. But Oregon doesn't sweep. Go look at, like, their entire season. I think they're, just 10-5 in the Big Ten. They let Game 3 against Michigan go by the wayside. They lost that series to Ohio State. I don't think they swept. They lost the game to Rhode Island. They didn't sweep Toledo. They just don't sweep. So I definitely think the Maryland
they swept 21-11 Southern California Trojans.
You're right.
On the road.
You're right.
So yeah,
you're right.
Just accept that Oregon winning that series of Maryland is what I'm trying to get at.
You know what I just remembered? I would love that. But you know what I just remembered? I just talked about how it's so hard to win at the bus lot, blah, blah, blah. I had deja vu and I had to look it up. I forgot 2 weeks ago, Georgia Southern walked in there and won 20-0 on Friday.
Yes. That was our weekend.
Hey, you know what? Tip of the beanie for self-accountability there.
Yes. I just let it fly.
I was saying the phrase and was having deja vu, being like, I've said this before. And then I looked it up and I was like, yep, we sure did talk about them and they got killed.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was the series that you guys all picked State and I picked Southern.
Well, I'm going to change my pick then. I still think the most obvious series is TCU at home against Kansas. Like,
I do too.
TCU's going to show them.
Sneak peek, I'm taking the Jayhawks in our pick 'em.
Oh, that is pick 'em, isn't it?
Yeah.
But why do you guys not think? I think Virginia Tech has an equal shot at winning at TCU does.
TCU at home, Virginia Tech at home. I
think Kansas is hot, dude. They're swinging it. You got to swing it to win on the road. Florida State's not really swinging it.
But they can swing it. We've seen it. I don't know. We'll see. Let's
With
see the weekend series
right now, I think you got to take the team that's facing the bad bullpen. And Southern and Florida State bullpen has been pretty bad the last 2 weeks.
Virginia Tech's bullpen is not much better.
No, but they're at home. So
in fact, they're worse.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. We don't need to talk about it all night or all morning. Sorry.
Noah, get us to the weekend series pick'em. I'll introduce the 6 series. We got Kansas at TCU, Arkansas at I don't know why I have UCA. UGA. I was like Central Arkansas. What the heck?
Can't read his own handwriting over there.
Yeah, Arkansas at UGA. Charleston at Mercer. That series is a little weird. I'll tell you guys about it in just a second. Louisville at NC State, Kent State at Miami, Ohio, and Vanderbilt at Oklahoma. Now the Charleston at Mercer series is 2 at Mercer, 1 at Charleston. Weird. I don't know why, but
yeah, I want to start off with that series actually.
Please do. The reason why we picked it is because Dimitri and myself, Mercer Bear alums, Jack the Longshot, got kicked out of school at Charleston Southern for being too cool. And too cool.
Hey, here we go.
All right, here we go. Yeah, Mercer, they're only just 15-9 at home this year. Just scouring home records when I do a lot of handicapping. It's not stellar. Charleston Southern, they do have a winning record on the road so far this year. So there's an opportunity realistically that the Bucks could go into Macon and win, steal a game. I don't think it's happening though. Because game 3, for what it's worth, is at Charleston Southern. So game 1 and game 2, Mercer. Game 3, Charleston Southern, like Ben mentioned. Charleston Southern needs these games to be high scoring in order to win because their pitching staff hasn't been too strong this season. Plus, there's a TBA in that rotation on Saturday for game 2. So I have no idea what's going on there. I haven't followed them closely enough here. But I trust Colton Cosper to go out there and get the Bears win in game 1. He's one of those mid-major studs. Therefore, I'll take Mercer to win the series with some pitching questions on the Bucs side. The Bears have to be able to win a high-scoring game because Charleston Southern's a really good offense this year.
Very good pick there, Noah. I'm going to tell you this right now. Mercer does not lose series to teams from Charleston. Oh, wait, they already did that once this year. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Citadel. Look, if I was still playing and if Dimitri was still playing at Mercer, this would be an automatic sweep. These are the type of series that Mercer back in the early 2010s would just sweep the series, wouldn't even think twice about it. The team is talented this year. I'm still all the way back in on Mercer and think that they can win the SoCon. It does scare me how good Charleston Southern's offense is playing in the small ballpark of Claude Smith Field at Ortho Georgia Park. I can't pick against Mercer, though. Colton Cosper on Friday. His brother's been their best reliever. His younger brother's been one of their better relievers out of the bullpen. And I don't know. I just like the Ty Dally, Titan Kamaka. Who else is hitting there for him? Just Drew Johnson is another guy. Bradley Fry is top 10 in the country, I think, in hits, total hits. So, I don't know. Give me Mercer 2 out of 3.
Hey, trivia question, Noah. Who holds the single season ERA record at Mercer?
It's not me.
This guy.
Is
it a trick question?
I think Jackson Kelly broke it recently.
I still hold the single season record for ERA.
What was your ERA?
1.15.
Were you a reliever that year or were you starting? Was it an innings limit that you just?
Oh, that was back when Mercer didn't have starters or relievers. You just randomly threw.
I think Jackson Kelly didn't have enough inning.
Oh, he had
enough. Wrong, though. I feel like I would know about it if he broke it.
Because honestly, how I know about how there's an innings limit and relievers could barely pass it and have an ERA record. I think that rapper Just Mike has the Duke ERA record.
No, Duke saves record.
Duke save.
And
I thought he had ERA too.
Noah, you are so young. His name is Mike Stud, and It will forever be Mike Stud.
I know it is.
Now I know he changed it, but
Yeah,
he was Mike Stud.
Yeah, he was Mike Stud.
At Duke, right?
Yes. He was at Duke with Stroman.
Yeah.
So, Dimitri, Jackson Cherry in 2022 had a 1.35 ERA. What did you say yours was?
1.15.
All right. Well, Jackson Cherry in 2020, his sophomore year, COVID, 25 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. He had a in
That's not enough
2020
innings.
he had a
That's not enough innings.
0.7 ERA. So he was on pace to break your record.
Oh, what do you mean on pace? He has to go through the gauntlet of a SoCon schedule.
SoCon offenses are loaded.
Anyway,
how many innings did you throw in that year?
My record was
25 and 2/3. Oh, not Dimitri.
No,
sorry.
D. Yeah.
What?
How many innings did you throw that year?
I want to say high 30s, low 40s.
Okay, that's good.
All I know is the only reason why I even know about this record is like randomly, like 4 years ago, I get tagged on Instagram by Mercer Baseball, and I'm like, why the hell is Mercer tagging me in something? Sure enough, I opened it and I had the ERA. I had no idea. I didn't even know I had that record.
Dude, somebody on my Twitter feed must have looked you up and then accidentally liked one of your highlight clips, because I saw a video of you pitching the Ronald Acuna Jr. the other day.
Oh, that was my tweet.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, like the way Twitter works is like somebody liked.
No way that video resurfaced.
Yeah, it did.
I forgot Ben tweeted that. He texted me and goes, "Can I tweet?" I was like, "Dude, no, I don't want you to tweet it." And then he was like, "I don't care, I'm doing it."
Dude, I was like, dude, that was such a good sequence, and Ronald Acuna still got a rolled over ground ball through the shortstop hole as a hit.
Like, 2 ABs, dude. Second AB, I pushed out. I should have K'd him up.
You couldn't have pitched any better to him. I think it was the first AB of that video.
3-2 changeup down and in. He got it. By the way, they gave that an error on the shortstop.
Oh, really?
The shortstop. That was not an error, but
yeah, that was a hard hit. That was pissed off.
It was a backhanded ball, and it kind of hit off his palm, whatever.
What a full circle moment, because you started the show complaining about official scores giving everybody hits.
Yeah.
What a full circle moment.
Only when I'm pitching, give everything an error.
Anyways, did you make your pick, Dimitri? Have you made your pick yet?
Yeah, I said I'm going with Mercer.
Okay, and then Jack is going with Charleston Southern.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bears. I think Charleston Southern stinks. Point simple.
The next series that I want to take you guys to is Vanderbilt, Oklahoma. This is the Commodores' second straight weekend on the road, and that's something that I just like to fade when it comes to picking games to bet on. I'll find a spot for a Sooners play this weekend. I have a good feeling about that. Vanderbilt coming off a weekend series sweep over Florida, and then they crush Dayton, who they recently hired away Dayton's head coach. So that was a big game too. So they have a lot of momentum coming into this. I just think that Oklahoma, they're a more consistent squad than the Gators. That Sooners lineup was kept quiet, but a really good LSU rotation and staff. They only threw like 5 guys the entire weekend, LSU did. So I think the Vandy boys pitching staff is just as good as that one in Baton Rouge, but I think the Sooners get off the schneid. I think their strong pitching staff gets a much needed bounce back weekend against the Vandy boys lineup that can have their fair share of dry spells, especially on the road. Give me Oklahoma. Dimitri.
Yeah, look, I agree with everything you just said, Noah. My thing is I view both of these teams as pretty evenly matched teams, right? Like I think they both have their strengths. What happened?
Texas A&M left fielder just robbed the go-ahead home run in the top of the ninth.
Oh my! They're tied up still.
Yeah, it would have hit literally the top of the wall and went over, but yeah, he robbed it.
Wow. Well,
if we weren't podcasting, the clip would have already been out, but whatever.
Going back to my point, I view these teams as like both very good on the mound. Like the offenses can be kind of hit or miss. Not a ton of power threats. And I look at their SEC records and I'm like, oh, so one's 7-5, one's 5-7, one's the home team. Like I expect these teams to be pretty even the rest of the season. and finish around the same record. So pick was easy for me. Give me Oklahoma.
Guys, Oklahoma just got beat by a better team all weekend against LSU last weekend. They looked good. Witherspoon looked great on Thursday. I think it was a Thursday game. I like Vandy. I just think I like Oklahoma more better at home. And I'm just going to ride with the pitching that they have. I think Vandy's got good pitching too, but Vanderbilt offense is just streaky at best. They don't have enough firepower to change a game with a 3-run shot. I mean, they obviously have it, but in big-time situations, I think I'm going to ride with the pitching. And so I'm going to go with Oklahoma here.
They cannot afford a Brody Johnston freshman wall here down the stretch. They just can't afford that. They need some pop.
That's a great point there, Noah. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Jack took Vanderbilt. He's the only one on Vanderbilt. So
all right,
that at least that saves us from getting everybody pick Oklahoma and then they lose the series.
I want to take you to MAC country. Kent State at Miami, Ohio. I just got a really good look at this Miami, Ohio Redhawks team the other last Friday. They've got 7 guys batting over 500 in that lineup. 5 of them have an OPS over 1,000. And last weekend, guys, Evan Applewick, the biggest household name on this roster, had a quiet weekend. I think it's a bounce back weekend for him. We saw other pieces in the lineup step up around him. That's just a dangerous recipe. They've got 2 ace relievers. Their weekend rotation's not very good, but Carson Byers, Cooper Katsky, those are your game winners late in the outings when they have a lead or it's a tie ball game or it's at least close. It allows that lineup to play. So I'll take the Redhawks.
What are you doing?
What happened?
South Carolina had a man on first, picked off the first base, threw it away. Guy just went first to third on a thrown away pick, and
that Aggie defense just hits differently,
dude.
And
Aggie defense is like shades of 2022.
And I think Petrie is up.
2022, they had a really good lineup. They all hit bombs, but they couldn't play defense.
Yeah, you got to walk Petrie here. Anybody else but Petrie.
Yep, Ethan Petrie is up.
Yeah, well, don't even let him walk the screen. Don't do that. We'll get.
No, I said I wish.
Oh, okay. No, anyway. Go ahead and talk Mac again. I'm sorry. Who'd you pick?
Miami, Ohio.
Thank you. And as I was right last week with my Uber Eats bet, Miami, Ohio is the best team in this conference. I watched. I actually spent some time this week on Synergy just watching some of the guys play, and I just think they're the better team. Kent State has had a great year. I put them and who. Jesus, man, I can't even think right now. Who did you go see Miami, Ohio play last? Bowling Green. There we go. Kent State and Bowling Green are kind of the tier 2, but I think Miami, Ohio might even sweep this series at home. They're legit. So
they need a rotation. But
thank you guys. I love you guys taking Miami because I'm going with the Kent State Golden Flashes, and your eyes are going to be flashing with gold by the end of the weekend when they take this series. They are the best team in the MAC.
Well, they do have a series win over Bowling Green already.
They do. Yep.
Kent State, give me the flash.
Jack took Miami, Ohio.
I want to take you guys down to Raleigh, North Carolina. The Wolfpack are 16-5 at Doak this year. Louisville's just played 5 true road games all season long. They're 2-3 in those road matchups. And I'm not going to fade the facility here. I view this as a matchup of styles. The Cards, they have 6 guys with that have 90-plus ABs that are all hitting above 300. But this NC State pitching staff, man, it's legit. They're elite, and they're getting healthier. They have Duden and Smith healthy, which is huge. I'll take NC State to win this series. I think that they are able to just string enough clutch hits in big innings together to win this one.
Yeah, these are both teams that I like to call cockroaches because neither team, and it's all credit to their head coaches, like they never die. Yeah. Like no lead is too big, no deficit is too big for them to come back. And I think we're going to see a lot of fireworks this weekend. 2 passionate teams. I don't know if they'll brawl or like clear the benches, but they both play like a hard-nosed style of baseball led by like Dan McDonald and Elliott Avent. two old school style of coaches. I think what it comes down to is, excuse me, NC State is finally getting healthier, especially on the mound, and I think that they play well at home. So I would be, I would lean NC State. That's gonna be my pick, but it would not surprise me one bit if Louisville walked in there and said, like, "Hey guys, like we used to run this conference 5 years ago."
So what's your pick?
NC State.
Yep, me too. NC State at home. I think Louisville. I don't think Louisville's as good as their record because their meat of their schedule is coming up, and this is the beginning of it. NC State. I think they're trending in the right direction now after a brutal start to the season. Yeah, give me NC State.
So this next one that I want to go to is
Wait,
one that
Jack pick.
yeah, good point.
Ooh.
I think you went NC State.
I think he went NC State too. Hold on. Yeah, he went NC State.
So clean sweep there. Congrats to Louisville on the series win.
All right, two more.
Yeah, I want to take you guys down to Fort Worth now. This is a series that was both of you guys circled this one as the most likely top 25 team to lose to an unranked team this week. I want to hear from you guys first.
Give me the Kansas Jayhawks. I'm riding with the Rock Chalk.
Dimitri said that Dimitri liked Kansas in this. He said that they're swinging the bats well and they're hot right now, and he would rather fall on that sword picking Kansas on the road.
Okay.
My brain, it's still stuck in like the early 2010s. This TCU team, when I close my eyes and think about TCU baseball, they handle business at home, and like you can always count on them to win a series.
Southern Miss said otherwise.
What?
Southern Miss said otherwise.
Dude,
right? No,
I'm still scarred from
I said that exact same. I said the exact same phrase when we had Southern Miss on this weekend series pick'em, and it bit me in the butt. But
dude,
I think TCU is still the best team in this conference, and I think they're going to show why they're the closest thing to a blue blood, or at least a super regional style blue blood in the conference. So give me TCU.
Yeah, Horned Frogs are 14-4 at Lupton this season. Do you guys know who the 4 losses are?
I do. Southern Miss twice.
And Arizona State twice.
Arizona
and they were
State
both
twice.
weekend series pick'em series. And I was on TCU for both. I'm scarred from that.
Jesus,
I can't take TCU again. I have to go Kansas. I'm impressed by this Jayhawks team. They're 12-4 away from home this year.
No, that's such a gambler's mistake. If you lose twice, you've got to ride them out again until you win.
They're not doing it, though. I like the handicap on Kansas. I like the handicap here. 12-4 away from home. They can win a ball game in multiple different ways. They've got a good pitching rotation on the weekends, but the lineup is top 20 in WRC Plus in the nation. They can win in a blitzkrieg fest as well. Low scoring if the pitching is well, but if one of those guys gets tagged early, Kansas can win it in the late innings. Like we've seen this lineup hit back-to-back home runs in Minnesota. We've seen them come from the ashes to beat UCF just last weekend. They hit the road again. Typically, I don't love teams in a back-to-back road spot, so maybe that's that third week or third time's a charm with TCU angle there. But I just think that Kansas is able to win in multiple different facets of baseball games. Scarred by TCU, Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Give me Kansas to win the series.
Jack took TCU, so we're evenly split 2-2.
All right. That final series is the top 5 series. 2 top 5 teams, probably the best series in the country coming into this weekend. Georgia just got swept by Texas. I feel like the common saying is going to be that Georgia is going to have a bounce back weekend here. I am going to go the opposite way. I think this Hogs lineup is for real. I've been on them from the get-go. Happy to see them. They finally figured it out and are hitting consistently. And that pitching is top tier. I still have questions. Like, Georgia's a very solid lineup. I still have questions about the pitching. I think with another elite offense coming to town in Athens, I'll take the better pitching staff. Give me Arkansas. I like the Razorbacks here. We'll pick.
It's a good pick there, Noah. this is not your father's Arkansas team that's like built on pitching and playing fundamentals. Like, do they have some true freshmen and like sophomores that are hitting the snot out of the baseball and they're able to generate double digit runs like almost on a consistent basis in SEC play? Um, I like the over in every single game this weekend at Foley Field. Um, I think that the trees will be fed nicely. The thing, like, I guess the bottom line for me is SEC home teams traditionally, like, if you just don't fade the facility, you're going to get more right than wrong. And so I think Georgia would actually be a smarter pick because they get the bounce back. Like now, Arkansas has the number one next to their name on the score bug. Like they're ranked number one in the country, and a lot of people are going to be rooting on their downfall. But overall, from what I've seen them in SEC play, now granted, they've played like Missouri and they've played Vanderbilt and South Carolina and Ole Miss. So like it's not murderer's row of SEC teams, but still solid teams. I'm not going to fade Arkansas until either their hitting slows down or their pitching slows down because right now both are hitting. Like their pitching and hitting look great. So I think they deserve to be the number one team in the country right now. I take that back. No, they don't. Texas has a better resume, but I test Arkansas feels like a better team.
I saw the gears turning there as you were saying.
Yeah, I was rambling. Sorry about that, everybody. Whoops.
Here's the
It's late.
deal. I thought
After this weekend, Arkansas might be ranked number one. Both Dimitri and I picked Kentucky in that series.
Georgia didn't look bad in Austin last weekend.
No.
They just didn't have the home crowd behind them. They were on the road. I thought they could have probably won at least one and probably won that series. That series was in Athens. I think that's how close Georgia played that weekend. At home, I think they're going to win this one. Wes Johnson is too good of a coach to have this team not fired up to punch Arkansas in the mouth. Arkansas is on the road at Georgia. I like Georgia here. I think they've got enough offense to help their pitching staff continue to gel and build. Give me the Dogs at home.
That's an interesting storyline.
By the way, 31-3 is absurd.
It is, dude.
Yeah, it really is. And like they haven't played a ton of close games either. They've beat up some
I love Arkansas. I think Arkansas is so good. I just think Georgia's going to find a way to get a bounce back series this weekend at home.
That's an interesting storyline too on Wes Johnson, former pitching coach with Dave Van Horn at Arkansas. He hails from the state of Arkansas. That's a very nice storyline here this weekend.
I'm excited to see the crowd there. I think Georgia's going to show out big time. Weather's supposed to be nice. It's Masters weekend, so I know Athens and Augusta aren't too far from each other. So you're going to see a lot of day drinking out of the frat house up in right field. They're going to be rowdy.
A lot of golf, like guys that alma mater, Georgia, they'll show up because I believe it's the fall or spring football game weekend too for Georgia. Wow. So, yeah, that place is going to be rowdy this weekend.
Jack also took Georgia too, by the way.
Okay. So 2-2 split. Do you know the reason why Mercer is not playing a home game in that game 3 of the series?
No idea. Makes zero sense. It's not even a close drive. It's
like
a 5-hour drive.
5-hour drive. Don't they have some? I think they have a big midweek next week somewhere in the South Palmetto State.
No.
Oh, then never mind.
Yeah, it's just so weird. I didn't want to mention it then.
Ben, they play at Georgia Southern on Tuesday, I think.
Oh, do they?
I think so. That's why they're going to Charleston Southern, playing that game, hanging out Monday, and playing Southern and Statesboro on Tuesday.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna have to go to that game Tuesday. I live close to Georgia Southern, so I'll watch Mercer win. Oh, dude, you know what's funny is I'm actually wearing a Georgia Southern
shirt.
And I did it because Mercer lost to Georgia Southern yesterday on Wednesday.
By the way, they're about to go to extra inning in College Station, so good time to end this show.
Perfect.
Crazy.
Well, hour and a half show, perfect timing. We're going to be back Sunday night, recap the weekend. We'll give you a new mid-major top 25. Next week, we'll also have a new field of 64 projection. And everybody go check out Azad Earls on our website, 11.7.com.
Extra inning.
Go look at Azad Earl's top 140 college prospects. It's really cool stuff. Dimitri killed it with the design. There's videos, there's statistics, player write-ups, rankings. It's the best. So just go to our 11.7 website, and you'll see what it looks like there. But anyways, appreciate everybody for listening, and we will see you here in a
Kill
few
this
days.
show on 1:30 on the dot.
I'm going to, right? 3, 2, 1, now.